Hey everyone, welcome back to Pick Six, the NFL betting preview show out of the Fell Football Podcast. My name is Ollie, and I'm joined by my opponent, co-host, acquaintance, Liam, as always. Mate, we finally had a winning week, just about 7-4-1. So positive shoots of winning bets from us there. Maybe we can build some momentum this week.
Yeah, I appreciate the carry job from you there, mate. To what, 2, 3, and 1 for me. I'm gonna put something out there. Someone told me before the pick that Jalen Reed was going to get 5 catches in. I think it was maybe the first half. Definitely, I'd
Yeah,
have been like, yeah, miles over 60 receiving yards. But no, I think he got
yeah.
about 25.
I know
So
that was so unlucky because usually he
yeah,
gets like a big throw downfield for like 20, 30 yards. So
yeah,
yeah, that was very unfortunate. Obviously, he goes off injured. Second week in a row, we've had an injury mid-game. What can you do?
yeah,
It's part of the game. It's just how it goes. And because we are recording on Wednesday this week, we are allowing picks from tonight's game when you'll be listening to this, which is TNF between the Broncos and the Saints. So yeah, I will get us kicked off then, I suppose, with now, mate, last week you remember I said about picking good teams.
yeah.
We're just going to take the Bills -9. I feel like this one could be a bit of a demolition job, to be honest. Josh Allen firing on all cylinders at the moment. Hasn't turned the ball over through an interception. Not sure about fumbles, but hasn't thrown a pick all year. Amari Cooper potentially in the mix. I don't know how much they're going to play him this week. And then you combine all of that with the Titans just looking like a bit of a mess offensively. Defensively, they've been pretty good, but they're 1-4 and they are no longer the ATS gods they were with Mike Vrabel. Bills won six of the last seven at home, already handed out a few whoppings this year. Coming off the back of three pretty tough away games, back to home comforts, just think they're going to win it fairly comfortably.
Yeah, like that, mate. Straightforward. Going with my liveliest dog of the week for pick one. Now I have seen line movement on this. I got the Seahawks at +3.5. Down to 2.5 currently, but that looks like that's going to move back up to 3. Um, liking Gino as a quarterback when it comes to playing in the dome. 13-2 touchdown INT ratio since 2022. Completion stats in the high 70s as well. Um, yeah, just can't see Seahawks losing 4 straight. They've got too much talent in that team to lose 4 straight. And then on the flip side as well, can't see the Falcons winning 4 in a row. Just think this is one of those where, I don't know, just happens that both streaks gets ended. Seahawks maybe win this one outright. Obviously, I'm going to take the points just because we have them. And yeah, it wasn't. I did have Falcons money line last week in a sort of long bet, so was paying attention to their game against the Panthers, and they didn't really pull away until I fell asleep, which is in the fourth quarter. So yeah,
Yeah.
liking the Seahawks here with a little bit of extra rest as well, playing Thursday night. But yeah, +3.5 the Seahawks.
Yeah, I was very close to taking that. Um, and I sort of only got to that as I was doing one of my player props and I was looking through them. So yeah, it was close there. So big fan of that pick. I'm gonna buy half a point and take the Lions +3. This is 3-4. I don't think it's a stretch to say, although the Vikings are obviously 5-0, I don't think it's a stretch to say the Lions are maybe the most impressive team this year. So taking them plus money in any game just feels right to me. Vikings obviously playing great on both sides of the ball. The defense has been lights out. They're unbeaten still. Divisional game, so it's going to be close between them. I can't see either side handing out a real thrashing. Ben Johnson versus Brian Flores should be a really close matchup. And if anyone's going to win it, it will probably be decided by a field goal. I just sort of like the way the Lions can move the ball a bit better than the way the Vikings can move the ball. I don't think they'll be able to run the ball on the lines very well. Then Darnold's going to be forced to pass a fair bit. Obviously, there is that guy, Justin Jefferson, on the receiving end, so that might be a problem. But we'll take the extra half a point just to be on the safe side. It's up from 2.5. And Detroit also 5-0 against the spread in their last five against the Vikings.
Yeah, they've been very good ever since the Tampa game. I think when they made Goff throw like 50 times or something. I think they sort of had a realization that that is not how they're going to win games. And yeah, they've been pretty good since then. Absolutely toying with the Cowboys last week.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'll go to my next two games are Monday night games. So I don't actually have a pick from the game tomorrow night. I did look at it, but yeah, didn't end up with a pick there. But we'll go for over 48 and a half. Fancy a Monday night football shootout down in Tampa Bay. Strength for the Bucks is the passing attack. Ravens' weakness, they are a very good team, but their weakness is their passing defense. They've like numbers wise, they've got the best offense in the league. The Ravens, that is. See, Lamar has an unbelievable record against the NFC, sort of 21-1, I think it is now after last weekend. So can't see them sort of laying an egg here. And I think the Bucks will keep it going after scoring 50 against the Saints on Sunday. Yeah, give me 48 and a half over.
There's two MNF games, aren't there? I think there's Chargers cards as well.
Yeah, that's
This
where
is the
my next pick will be
oh,
going to
so I
that game. Yeah.
did not mean to jump the gun. Yeah, I also don't have a pick in the Broncos Saints game because I never really pick homer picks, and also because the game kind of stinks. I haven't really decided on a play of the week yet. Sort of just look at all my picks and think I'm not really sure where to go with it. I'm gonna leave it for the end, I think, one of the player props. So we'll go to no, I was umming and ahhing over this. I changed my mind and I went back. I'm gonna take the Colts minus a three um against the Dolphins. They're 5-1 against the spread this year. And the Dolphins obviously are sort of in dire straits. The offense is completely inept without Tua. No spark at all. I'm not actually sure who's playing QB for the Colts. I think Richardson's in full practice today.
I think he's going to play Richardson.
Maybe would rather Joe Flacco was playing, honestly. But I'm cool with either guy. Obviously, Richardson offers a completely different dynamic of quarterback to Flacco. Flacco's not moving from the pocket. Well, apart from that one run that he had when he somehow burnt like 20 yards off. But yeah, I would just back them to beat. I think it's Tyler Huntley, right? Dolphins
Yeah,
quarterback.
yeah, he's still there. Yeah, yeah.
The Colts defense does give me a bit of cause for concern. The DBs aren't very good. They're giving up quite a lot of explosive plays, but Dolphins 1-4 against the spread this year just feels like a spot where the Colts can hopefully just grab a win without too much fuss. I think the line that I saw was actually 3.5. That was at plus 100 evens. So I've just taken it down a little bit to 20 to 23.
Very nice. Yeah, still 3.5 at evens at the moment. Yeah, as I said, another Monday night football pick. I'm taking the Chargers minus 2.5. I feel like this line should be probably more 4.5, 4. They've got the coaching staff advantage. They're a much more physical team than the Cardinals. Expect them to win in the trenches, running the ball. Cardinals a little banged up on their O line and D line, down to sort of backups in some positions. And then yeah, just like Justin Herbert to carve up. They play a lot of zone defense. Having a look at it, Arizona. So yeah, like Herbert to get a read on that and get the job done in the desert.
Cool, 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 cool. Right. Player props. Pretty happy with all these. I'm not 100% on my game props, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to take Deontay Johnson over 66.5 receiving yards. Because as good as Washington's offense has been this year, their defense has been a bit of an unmitigated disaster. And this is a spot where the Panthers are probably likely to be playing catch. I mean, let's be honest, every game this year is probably a game where the Panthers are going to be playing catch up, but they're going to be very pass heavy orientated. Johnson's had 43 targets in his last four games. He's one of Dalton's favorites. And yeah, the Panthers offense isn't even that good, but very pass heavy. Dalton's probably going to have at least 40, 45 attempts because the Commanders offense are just going to keep scoring. And yeah, they get a pretty nice matchup here against the Washington pass defense. So Deontay Johnson over 66.5 receiving yards.
Very nice, mate. FYI, Chargers was the play of the week. Didn't mention that, but yeah, that's my play of the week.
Noted.
Said we don't like picking two props in the same game, even though they were my only two wins last week. But I have done it again. gone DK Metcalf's receiving yards over 65 and a half. Had my choice of the Seahawks receivers here. I think JSN was sort of 50.5, Tyler Lockett just under that. So I went for, the number one target, which is DK Metcalf. Seattle did try and run the ball against the 49ers, didn't really pay off. Um, I think they get back to passing this week. As I said, they're obviously playing in the dome, makes it easier to pass, no weather to mess about with. Falcons don't have much of a pass rush. So I think Gino will get time in that pocket to throw the ball. So yeah, like DK going over 65 and a half.
Well, we're gonna disagree in just a little bit about something you've said then. But for the time being, second pick, I'm going to take CJ Stroud over 1.5 passing touchdowns against the Packers. Three QBs have gone over this total this season against Green Bay, and every quarterback has thrown at least one touchdown versus the Packers. Stroud's 3-3 on this number this year, but two of those were the Vikings and the Bears, two very solid defenses. Don't think the Packers quite match up with them, even though two safeties, McKinney, I believe it's Evan Williams. I think he's a fourth round rookie. He's been very good this year.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and then the other was the Bills in a close game. So it doesn't really cause me any concern there. This is probably my sort of feel vibe pick of the week. I know Nico Collins obviously being out doesn't make stuff easier, but this pick was very nearly Tank Dell to score a touchdown at 6-4. So if that happens, I'll be a little bit annoyed, but obviously it will contribute to CJ Stroud throwing one, unless Stephon Diggs throws a touchdown for some reason. But yeah, we're taking CJ Stroud over 1.5 passing touchdowns, and that is 20-21.
Yeah, we'll keep it in that game, mate. We'll go my former Bengal, Joe Mixon, going over on his rushing yards, 56 and a half. It's the lowest line a running back one has had against the Packers all season. Mixon obviously played just two full games, has gone over 100 yards both times. The Packers defense does get takeaways, but I still think they can be, you can run against them. Their pass, their defense is definitely their strength. Yeah, just feel like this is quite a low line for Mixon. So yeah, we'll grab him to get at least 57 rushing yards.
Yeah, that's seeming pretty good to me, to be fair. Now, here's my play of the week, and here's where we're going to disagree. I've got I've got Kenneth Walker over 64.5 rushing yards.
Okay.
Um, so we've got a quarter of our picks are in this game. So if the Falcons win, God help us. Running backs have feasted this year versus the Falcons. A running back has gone over their own total in every game versus or running back one in every game this season, and that even includes Chiefs fullback, running back. I don't know what he is, Carson Steele.
Oh yeah, stud. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, or like you said, sorry. I think this game's going to end up being pretty close. The Seahawks, I think they're going to have to lean on the running game. No quarterback has thrown for over 250 versus the Falcons so far this year. As you mentioned, Seahawks coming off their mini bye with the TNF to Sunday. And I wrote at the end of this, actually, I quite fancy the Seahawks money line and nearly took them +3, but Walker's got a real nice matchup, so we'll leave it at that.
Hey, well, hopefully they win by 10, run the ball, and DK gets a huge bomb of a touchdown.
Yeah, if they could both just have two explosive plays and then sort of run the ball for us again, that'd be great.
Yeah. I have stuck to the script here, mate. Obviously you haven't. I believe that's all your picks done, isn't it?
It is, yep.
Yeah, I've somehow found a pick in this London game that we've got on Sunday.
Yeah, I've really wanted to take Tank Bigsby's rushing overs, but because we were recording earlier, I couldn't see them.
Oh,
But
okay.
so that's my honorable mention pick of the week.
Yeah, I've gone with a little flyer here. Mine is 3-1. It's Drake May over 1.5 passing touchdowns. No, I think the Jags are absolutely dead. They've already traded away one of their interior linemen who played the majority of the game against the Bears. Um, Roy Robertson Harris, something like
Yeah,
that.
it's like three first names, isn't it?
Unfortunately for him, he's had to fly from London to Seattle, which is probably the longest trek in the NFL. Um, but yeah, just seen one rookie QB in Caleb Williams have their way of the Jags defense. Looking for another. Drake May, I was impressed with some of his throws that were against man coverage in the Texans game. Obviously through the touchdown. Can't remember who it was to. Kayshon Boutte, maybe I think it might have been to.
Yeah, Keishon Bell, I
Uh,
think. Yeah.
yeah, it was a nice throw. Looking at the stats, Jaguars tend to play man coverage 50% of the time. I think they're absolutely dead. I think by the time they come back, even if they win this game, um, Doug, Dougie P's on the hot seat for sure. They're one of five at the minute, I think. And I mean, a loss at Wembley against the Patriots would, I think that would completely end it for him. But yeah, I just think this is probably the best value in the game as I was looking for a pick. So yeah, Drake May over 1.5 passing touchdowns at 3-1.
Yeah, the only thing that put me off a pick in this game was the weather looks very windy. Um,
Oh, really?
yeah, that was the only thing that put me. I can't find yeah, 40-mile-an-hour gusts possibly. So look,
Okay.
I'm not trying to put you off the pick. I'm just
Okay.
saying,
Backup pick is from Andre Stevenson touchdown 13-8.
all right, we'll bear both in mind. We'll bear both in mind. But yeah, because I was going to take Mays passing overs, and then I saw it's going to rain and it's going to be windy. So yeah, it was a little bit annoying. But yeah, cool. Those are the picks. I will go through mine again very quickly. We've got the Bills -9, Lions +3, Colts -3, Deontay Johnson over 66.5 receiving yards, CJ Stroud over 1.5 passing touchdowns, and Kenneth Walker the third over 64.5 rushing yards.
Nice. I've gone Seahawks +3.5, Bucks Ravens over 48.5, Chargers -2.5, Mixon over 56.5 rushing, DK Metcalf over 65.5 receiving, and Drake May to throw two or more passing touchdowns.
Very nice. Okay, we've got next week's TNF, not tonight's TNF as you're listening, which is Vikings Rams, and the Vikings are only -3, and the total is 46.5. I assume they might be getting a receiver back, maybe Cup or
I think Cup,
Puka.
yeah, I think Cup is potentially could play this week. I think they might leave him.
Yeah,
But I mean, even I don't think they should move the numbers too much. Like I saw, like Devontae Adams move the line for the Jets game like by like 3 or 4 points. And I don't think a wide receiver is worth that. So
are you
I
sure,
almost took the Steelers, but
that wasn't because Russ got him? Is likely
that
starting.
could be it as well. That's also why I didn't take the Steelers. But
Yeah, like that
um,
whole game just stinks. I'm not going near that.
yeah, Vikings Rams. Give me. I mean, this line could change massively. Depends on how the Vikings look against the Lions. Gonna. But if we're picking it in hindsight, give you've got to take the Vikings.
Yeah, I would take the Vikings and I'd probably take the under as well.
Yeah. What we on tonight? I think from last week we Broncos were like +1, weren't they? I think we said.
Yeah, now I
I
think
think I said.
Broncos are -1. I think it's now 2.5.
Yeah, they're going to be. Saints got a lot of injuries, so do you fancy? I know. So I nearly had the Broncos money line on there, but I just couldn't. Without Surtain, I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's tough. I quite fancy the over tonight. Yeah, I guess it is tonight. I quite fancy the over. I don't know why. 37.
Yeah, could get. Yeah, Spencer Rattler was slinging it to be fair, but
Yeah,
he doesn't have Shaheed or Olave by the looks of it.
yeah. I need to drop Shaheed on fantasy because I think apparently his injury is quite bad. He's going on IR, so
Oh, really?
yeah. He also never
Oh,
plays for me either, so I kind of just want to get rid of him. Um, cool. I think we're all caught up then. Mate, best luck with the picks. We're hoping for another winning week. Hopefully, we're both in the green this time.
yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely, it's about time.
It is about time. Mate, thank you for joining me. Everyone else, thank you for listening, and catch you in the next one.